I never thought one dinner could destroy everything I believed about family, but it did. My name is Daniel, I'm 28, and what I'm about to share is the night my world cracked open. It started on a Sunday evening, the kind where nothing feels out of place. My mom had spent all afternoon preparing dinner, the table was set beautifully, and my dad was in one of those rare good moods where he actually joked instead of barking orders. My younger brother, Aaron, had just come home from a trip, and Mom wanted the whole family together to celebrate. I remember walking into the dining room and thinking it looked like something out of a picture frame, polished cutlery, warm lighting, the smell of roasted chicken and garlic filling the air. I had no idea that within an hour, I'd be staring at my brother across the table, my hands shaking, wondering if I even knew him at all. We all sat down, Mom fussing over the food, Dad pouring himself a drink, Aaron wearing that smug little smile he always had. For most of dinner, it was normal, casual chatter, my dad asking me about work, my mom complaining about the neighbors. But then Aaron cleared his throat. At first, I thought he was about to share some funny story from his trip, the way he usually did. Instead, he leaned back in his chair, folded his arms, and said, "There's something I need to tell you all. Something I should have said a long time ago." The room went silent. My mom put down her fork slowly, eyes narrowing with suspicion. My dad muttered something about not ruining dinner, but Aaron pressed on. He looked right at me when he said it, "Daniel, you deserve to know the truth." "We all do." My stomach tightened. There was something in his tone, half anger, half relief, that made my heart pound. I said, "What truth? What are you talking about?" He took a deep breath. "You're not who you think you are." At first, I laughed. I thought he was messing with me. "What is that supposed to mean?" I asked. But then I saw Mom's face, pale, tight-lipped, like she'd been caught. My dad shifted uncomfortably in his chair. The air grew heavy. That was the moment I realized this wasn't a joke. Aaron looked at our parents, then back at me. "You're not really their son. You're not my brother. At least, not by blood." The words hit me like a slap. My fork clattered onto the plate. I searched their faces for denial, for someone to say he was lying. But nobody did. My mom's eyes welled up, my dad stared at the table like it had answers carved into it. Finally, I croaked out, "What the hell are you talking about?" Aaron leaned forward, his voice low but steady. "You were adopted. They never told you. You've been living your whole life thinking you belong to this family, but you don't. Not really." I felt like the floor beneath me had cracked open. Adopted? Me? I looked at my mom, desperate for her to shut him down. Instead, tears rolled down her cheeks. My dad still wouldn't meet my eyes. "Tell me he's lying," I demanded. My voice shook. Mom whispered, "We were going to tell you someday. We wanted to protect you." Protect me? My entire identity, my entire life, had just been ripped away, and they called that protection. Aaron, meanwhile, looked almost satisfied, like he'd been waiting years to expose this secret. "I only found out last year," he said. I didn't say anything, but I couldn't sit here pretending anymore. "You needed to know." I pushed back from the table, my chair scraping loud against the floor. "So what am I, then? Some charity case you picked up? A replacement for the son you couldn't have?" "No, Daniel, it's not like that," Mom sobbed, reaching for me. But I pulled away. Dad finally spoke, his voice rough. "We loved you like our own. We never wanted you to feel different. Loved me like your own." I snapped. "So I'm not your own? That's what you're saying?" The room spun. My chest was tight, my head buzzing. I stormed out, slamming the door behind me, my mom's cries echoing in my ears. That night, I couldn't sleep. My phone buzzed with texts from Aaron, some smug, some pretending he cared. My mom called me non-stop. My dad sent one pathetic message, "We'll talk when you're calmer." But how do you calm down when everything you knew about yourself was a lie? I spent hours staring at my reflection, searching for signs that I didn't belong. Did I look different? Was that why Dad always treated Aaron like the golden child and me like an afterthought? Suddenly, every cold look, every harsh word made sense. I wasn't his son. Maybe I never would be. The next day, I confronted my parents. I demanded the full story. Through tears, Mom explained, they couldn't have children at the time. They adopted me as a baby. Then, miraculously, she got pregnant with Aaron a year later. They always meant to tell me, but the years kept slipping by, and then they convinced themselves it was better if I never knew. Better for who? For me, living in ignorance? Or for them, to avoid this exact moment? Aaron stood smugly in the corner as Mom explained. He wasn't sorry, if anything, he looked proud. I knew something was off, he said casually. Now it all makes sense. I wanted to punch him, but I couldn't even move. My body felt heavy, my mind drowning in betrayal. For weeks, I kept my distance. I ignored calls, skipped family dinners, buried myself in work. But no matter how hard I tried, the words haunted me, "You're not really their son." Then one night, Aaron showed up at my apartment uninvited. He leaned against the doorframe like he owned the place and said, "Look, don't be so dramatic. It's not like they don't love you. You're just different." That word, different, cut deeper than anything. I finally snapped. "Why did you do it? Why now? You could have kept your mouth shut." He shrugged. "Because you were living a lie. And maybe. I liked knowing I was the real son. The one who actually belongs." His words lit a fire in me. For the first time, I realized this wasn't about honesty. It was about power. Aaron wanted to break me, to remind me I was less. But instead of giving him that satisfaction, I made a decision. I started digging into my past. Adoption records, hospital files, anything I could find. If my so-called family had lied to me, I'd uncover the truth myself. Weeks turned into months, and slowly, pieces of the puzzle came together. My biological parents had been young, scared, unable to raise a child. They gave me up hoping I'd have a better life. In some twisted way, I guess I did. But now I had a new identity, one no one could take from me. I realized something important. My brother's secret didn't destroy me. It freed me. Yes, my family betrayed me, but I wasn't powerless. I wasn't just different. I was me, Daniel. Now, every time I sit across from Aaron at family gatherings, I see the smug look in his eyes, but it doesn't control me anymore. He thinks he broke me, but really, he gave me the key to finding out who I truly am. And here's the question I'll leave you with. If you were me, would you forgive the family who lied to you for years, or would you walk away and never look back?